Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling for the Culture returns this week. Now, I know it's a day late, but guess what? I was out a little busy, but we got some big stories coming up. Oba Femi relinquishes his title? Trick Williams calls out a legend, plus a couple of new champions to announce that was crowned on the Indies this week. Coming up, Wrestling for the Culture. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wrestling for the Culture. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. As you know, this show is brought to you by the 15-year anniversary celebrating Wrestling Realm. Now, folks, before we get started, let me go ahead and run the particulars. Y'all know what you're supposed to do. Go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button. Make sure you tell a friend about the show where the fellas just having fun talking wrestling. They don't take themselves too seriously. We just simply enjoying ourselves. I mentioned we're celebrating 15 years. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a quick clip that the real Dwayne Allen put together because it's so good it's need to run on all the platforms. Here it is. Now, normally I would save that for like Break It Down with Brian H. Obviously, it runs on the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. But like I said, my brother put a lot of effort into that. And, you know, we celebrating the culture here. You know, in 2011, I met Dwayne and I was like, okay, this brother loves wrestling just as much as I do. But wait a minute. He don't mind acting a fool about it. He don't mind being unapologetically in love with this business. So the Wrestling Realm was born, and we have since created shows on top of shows on top of shows. That's the reason why we have this one right here, Wrestling for the Culture, because guess what? Sometimes it's just not enough time to go through all of these stories every Wednesday night because, look, I got to still get up on Thursday mornings, take my children to school, get a workout in. And so, you know, I'm going to get back to it. Y'all hold me to it. Like I said, y'all hold me accountable for doing this show, so hold me to that as well because I want to be slimmer when we sit down and really celebrate that 15th official year. So enough of that. Enough about me. Folks, Oba Femi, we're starting off with him this week because he relinquished the NXT championship after he had a successful title defense against Leon Slater. I love the cutaway. They went away and then Robert Stone said, Ava, did you see what just happened? And they turned back to it. Oba had left the championship in the middle. He left it there, right? I believe he left it on an announce table. And here's the thing, right? Because I didn't watch this live. So I just, I saw everything happen. I said, okay, he probably just left the title or whatever. I love how he cut away. Now, what I'm interested in seeing is who's up next. Are we going to go ahead and recrown, I should say, will Ricky Starks regain the NXT title? This is his show now. When you think about, we talk about the future, I'm looking at Ethan Page and Ricky Starks to be the guys to take the helm. But sticking with Oba Femi, I love this right here. Now, of course, I would have rather he had never lost the championship. But I do like that, him and Ricky Starks had that battle back and forth. Ricky gave him his all. And then, Oba got caught slipping 1, 2, 3. But I would have personally rather seen Oba Femi never lose the championship and relinquish it this way. But the fact that he did relinquish it this way, I want to see him go on to probably the Raw roster and dominate. Right now, as I'm recording Monday, Raw has already happened. We see like Finn Balor and CM Punk. We kind of know where that's going to go. I want to see it disruptive. I want to see disrupt some things. Gunther's running a rough shot on everybody, beating up AJ Styles. Braun Breaker has apparently disappeared since losing his championship opportunity. I want to see Oba Femi in the world title picture. I always say this. We look at how Brock Lesnar was booked in 2002. We didn't have access to OVW as far as everybody watching. We watched this guy show up the day after WrestleMania 18, dominate, and then next thing you know, he was in the King of the Ring tournament. He won that. Boom, he beat The Rock at SummerSlam. I want to see Oba Femi get that same treatment. Oba Femi's mid-card titles was the North American Championship when he held that championship. I don't need to see Oba Femi as the Intercontinental Champion or a Tag Team Champion. He has it all. He has the in-ring presence. He has the aura. Let's go ahead and get it done. Speaking of getting it done, Trick Williams made his debut on Friday Night Smackdown, and he interrupted Randy Orton. Now, I love seeing Trick Williams go toe-to-toe with one of the greatest of all time. When you think about Randy Orton, you think of 14-time WWE champion. You look back at everything he's done in his career. So to see Randy Orton mixing it up, going toe-to-toe on the microphone with a young guy like Trick Williams, and Trick held his ground. With his lemon pepper steppers, he's going to have everybody saying that. So, he took an RKO. He took the DDT. That's kind of expected, but I would love to see a program start. He's not just coming in, doing a vignette, being around. No, he's stepping in the ring with top guys, with Sami Zayn, with Randy Orton. And he's proven that he wants to be a world champion. And I think Trick Williams has the ability to do so. We saw Melo and Shinsuke Nakamura put on an incredible match. And you could tell Melo looked like he had been in a fight, and he won. But, finally seeing Carmelo Hayes get going is something that we've all been waiting to see. We had to be patient. He was the number one first round draft pick a couple years ago. And it's like, wow, that was really a couple years ago. And, he had that best of 7 with Andrade, but now he's going to be in this open challenge for a few weeks. So it's going to be great seeing him put on banger after banger. He is a workhorse, and that's what we want to see. Not to say he doesn't have a personality, because he does, but we're going to see the workhorse, and that's what's making it fun watching SmackDown be well-rounded. You know what I mean? You look at the world champion on SmackDown, the women's WWE champion, I should say, Jade Cargill. She's running roughshod all over the roster. Another black woman. Now, we could say, oh, Jade's green, this, that, and the other. Bottom line is, she is the first investment that the TKO brand made, and the first snatch from AEW. So WWE is making it work, and Jade is making it work. Jade is stepping up. Regardless of how you feel about her wrestling, there's no denying her star power and her ability. And Jade has the ability to make you feel something, whether you like her or not. She has the ability to make you love her, or she has the ability to make you hate her. That's why she's good at what she does. Now, I want to move on. I saw a report, Javon Evans is obviously there on Raw. He made his debut Monday and was victorious. But I saw a report that says, and I'm so sick of seeing stuff like this, like just let it play out. Says that WWE sees Oba Femi as a franchise player, but they don't see Javon Evans or Trick Williams as a franchise player. I don't know if those reports are set out to really, make these guys go out and grab the brass ring. But I can say, for me, watching these guys out there, it's fun watching these black wrestlers show up and show out. Now, I'm wondering, where are the Street Profits? I want to see the Street Profits, even if they're together or not. I want to see them come out and make a move, because they've done their thing and they've paved some ways for, to see black wrestlers as a consistently booked tag team, to see black wrestlers be champions. kind of picking up the ball where the New Day had left it. Or even the New Day on one side and they're on the other side. So I want to see them kind of do that. I mean, remember, for a while, nobody thought Kofi Kingston would ever be a WWE champion. So as somebody who wants to see a Montez Ford singles run, I want to see it happen. But I want to see him get angry. I want to see them not necessarily turn heel, but I want to see another edge to the Street Profits and them get back and be where they belong. Want to move on to AEW because, man, what a day. First of all, Willow Nightingale, man. I mentioned last week being a huge fan of hers. I look at what she's doing, the Triangle of Madness with her, Harley Cameron, Kris Statlander. And I'm sorry, Willow just looks like the biggest star out of all of them. Now, I know Kris Statlander's the AEW Women's World Champion, but Willow just looks like the star. She stands out. She has the charisma and the it factor. I don't think they're going to be all buddy-buddy for long. I just don't. I think, they were victorious last week Saturday against Hayan Maierwer and Vert Vixen, but they can only be buddy-buddy for so long. I know they have a big matchup next week coming up, but I want to see what happens here. We saw that she was celebrating. Mercedes Moné was not happy about that, and Mercedes got caked. And when she got kicked, it was like, oof, whoa, buddy. But Mercedes had a crash out, and she made it clear we will not be seeing her for a while. So that's a challenge to the women to keep this division going, keep this division over, because Mercedes has done it for over 500 plus days, close to 600 days. And I think they can. I do think, like I said, I do believe in a Willow Nightingale, and I want to see what happens. But I do love the fact that Mercedes is going to take a break. Sometimes you need it, Shout out to her. She was celebrating with her man. He just got his degree. So she was out there with him. But shout out to Mercedes doing her thing. And as always, and we'll see what happens. Collision, the main event, man. I've been telling y'all the demand. I probably would like a different name, but nonetheless, the demand defeated Jet Speed and Anthony Bowens. Now, and shout out to Bishop Khan for getting it done. I always say he looks like $1 million. He is a future world champion, a future singles world champion, and I want to see it. I mean, just everything, his presentation. I saw him at Ashe Wrestling, and I just saw the presentation, man. I am ready for the run. But again, I'm enjoying everything Ricochet is doing, just taking his experience and lending it to those guys. So that's great to see. And, Jet Speed, they're fun to watch. Anthony Bowens is fun to watch. We did see Max Caster come out there and looked like he wasn't going to get involved and get help, but it was definitely chaos ending on that episode of AEW Collision. But, it's been fun to watch. It's a tough spot, let's be honest. Saturdays, not always the easiest spot. I know I didn't watch it live. I was out celebrating Queen PR's birthday. Happy birthday, Queen PR and her sister Letty, her twin sister Letty. A great time, but, we wasn't watching AEW. So I'm interested to see, I want to see more. I'm going to do my best to, give more clips and talk about things that's happening on this show, especially when the wrestlers that we cover here on Wrestling for the Culture are doing their thing. I just put you on the spot, too.
No, look.
That's what happens. Usually I'll say, hey, man, we're going to create this content. We wanted to create this brand 10 years ago. This is what we're going to do.
He also says things like, I have pizza at the house, come and hang out, and then there's no pizza. There's a camera set up, and then we got to do stuff. Like, I didn't, not plan on doing any work, but I wanted to eat pizza. But, that's how that happens. Now, look, that's what he does. This is what he does.
Here, y'all. Here's your pizza, man. You keep talking about pizza, there's your pizza.
You see this?
Oh, you got a couple of logos. They ain't sponsored the show.
This is what he does. This is not what I was referring to. Like I said.
Now it's time to go to the indies, folks. So we got a couple things, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and as I always say, shout out to everybody who send me stuff. Shout out to Black Wrestling. I saw when I was looking, I saw that Eli Knight defeated AJ Francis for the Reality of Wrestling Glory Championship. So congratulations to Eli Knight. And then shout out to the homie Alexis Littlefoot. She is still the HCW Hooligan Championship Wrestling Women's Heritage Champion. She defeated Carter Kaufman. And then she also had a picture with a good friend of hers, Alexandra Quiinn, who, along with her tag team partner, Mercy, became the HCW Women's Tag Champs. And they defeated Team Hallbright, that being Allie Albright and Leah Hall, Davina Thorne and Madison Payne, and Miss Larkin and Nicole Summit. So congratulations to Alexandra, Quiinn, and Mercy. And I hope I get all this right. Please send me stuff. If I say something wrong, I'm not somebody who has an ego. Oh man, you this, that, and the other, because look, I'm still learning. And this is what I do love about the internet and independent wrestling. One simple retweet goes a long way, and you put it in front of my eyeballs. I talk about it on my platform. Somebody else talks about it on their platform. The wrestlers win. That's what we want right here. Also, Isaiah Broner is the new Extreme Intense Championship Wrestling's United States champion. So, Isaiah Broner, congratulations to him. Man, one of the hardest hitters in the business. Let me tell you. And so, congratulations to him. And then last, but certainly not least, this coming from Queer Punk's Outlaw Wrestling up in New York, Angelo Carter defeated Nyla Rose. And I saw Angelo Carter's tweet saying, I got to wrestle Nyla Rose. So congratulations to Angelo Carter. So shout out to everybody out there doing their thing. I'm looking forward to next week, seeing what y'all got, seeing what happens with all the wrestlers that we cover right here on this show. And I said I got a list. I will be reaching out to people to come on this show and let's talk about what y'all got going on. But ladies and gentlemen, that will do it this week for Wrestling for the Culture. Remember to send everything in, and please, as I say on my other show, do not let anyone place a ceiling above your success as you go out there in the world. So long, everyone.